Here's what I think are the top 3 most underrated movies of all time. Number 3 is Claus. This is one of 2 Netflix movies on this list, and I remember it being talked about a little bit when it came out, and then never again. It was popular for a few weeks and then disappeared, which is a shame because this is possibly the best Christmas movie of all time that's a Die Hard. The film, without giving away any spoilers, is kind of an origin story about Santa Claus and how he got started and what his motivation was for doing it. The film is able to make Claus interesting, it's able to make the main character interesting, and the animation is just amazing. The way they make 2D look like 3D was incredible. You have great actors doing the voice acting like Norm Macdonald and J.K. Simmons, and the film as a whole can be funny, bittersweet, and heartwarming at the same time. So just a masterpiece of a film that is one of the greatest Christmas movies of all time, as one of the greatest animated movies of all time, and for some reason doesn't get talked about as much as it should. Number 2 is The Founder. I remember seeing some clips of this film starring Michael Keaton and being mildly interested, so I checked it out and was blown away with how great this movie is. The way they make the main character both the antagonist and protagonist of the story at the same time is compelling, and this is possibly Michael Keaton's best role to date. This film also has a stacked cast, as you have Nick Offerman, John Carroll Lynch, Patrick Wilson, Beijing Novak, and Laura Dern, all in this really well-made movie. I never thought I would have a true story about the growth of the McDonald's franchise in my top 30 favorite movies of all time, but this film doesn't have one dull moment from beginning to end. And before I get into my number 1, if you enjoyed this video and want to see more like it, consider subscribing. But in first place, the most underrated movie of all time, Identity. It's a federal crime how almost nobody talks about this film and how underrated it is. You get hooked into this film in the first 5 minutes as you are introduced to the characters and they are put into this compelling situation, and then weird stuff starts to happen at this motel. Without going into spoilers, I had no idea where this movie was going to go until the plot twist was revealed. I'm not lying when I say that this is one of the best plot twists in any film and makes you rethink everything that came before it in a good way. Whoever wrote the plot for this film was an absolute genius, so if you have the spare time or want to add a creepy whodunit movie with an amazing plot twist to your bucket list, I would highly recommend you watch this film.